Steven, I think they're ready for us. You ready?
Yeah, dude, let's go.
Actually, we're going to change it up because the Angels definitely are blowing me. We're going to start with that. No high introductions, no nothing of that nature. Because the Angels in the beginning of the season, Steven and I were talking about them. We were like, damn, you know what? They might actually do well. Ohtani was good. Trout was good. They were above 500. Hell no, that shit just didn't even happen. And I said that because I was looking at the MLB and also Steven's hat. But backtracking now, since I got that out of my system, Steven, what's been up? How's the quick slants going? What's good with the boys that are in the top 10?
I don't think you want to know what's been up because it's it's been a long week so far for the Springers. But I was in State College last weekend for the Penn State Northwestern game. Jay Hill and family, his family, not mine. And it was cold, it was wet, and it was sloppy on and off the field. That was probably the sloppiest game I've seen on the field at a Penn State game in like a long time, like very long time. Got the W though, so that's dope. 5-0 heading into the bye week. Bye week could not come at a better time as it does for most teams, but we got through the first 5 games of the season relatively healthy. Obviously, five games in, there's gonna be bumps and bruises, but knock on wood, we're healthy. Got the bye week, and then the boys go to Ann Arbor next weekend for a big time showdown with Michigan. They have Indiana this weekend, so they should still be undefeated, 6-0 versus 5-0. Penn State will likely either be number 9 or number 10, depending on if some teams lose ahead of us, but I don't think so. So it'll be a top 10 matchup. And let's see. Quick slants coming out tomorrow night. I have a special guest on, my boy Shotsky Mike. You know Mike. So I was with him on Saturday for a little bit. We chopped up. It's gonna be a good show. He's got, more Penn State knowledge than I do, which I know is hard to believe, but he's been around longer than I have. So we'll talk about the game. We'll talk about things this season. We'll talk about the quarterbacks. We'll talk about tailgating, old school Penn State football, just the whole 9 yards. So we'll talk about that. I am going out to Michigan next weekend with my brother-in-law BJ. So very pumped about that. Haven't been to a road game in I don't consider Maryland a road game because that's a home game for me. But it's been probably like 4 or 5 since before I had kids, so at least 5 years. So it's been a while. So very excited to go out there. Been to Ann Arbor this will be my 5th time out there, I think it is. So love it out there. Very excited about that. So yeah, quick sounds coming out tomorrow night. It's gonna be a little bit later than usual because I think Mike and I will talk for a while. So it'll be out tomorrow night at some point. So tune in for that. And then I'll be who knows how I'll be next Wednesday. After the week I've had in this household. I need to have some people come and fumigate my entire house eventually. But we're rocking and rolling, survive in advance, as they say. So that's what we got.
Yeah. Congratulations.
How are you, though?
He's still alive.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. Yeah. I can't really complain. I'll dive into a lot of the things that are making me happy when we get into sports, but doing pretty good. I have to give a major shout out. So we had episode 29 of the NFT Spaces on Mondays. I'm surprised I've been able to keep it going this long. Like, people try to end up saying, yo, do you want to do something on Mondays 7? Nah, I got to keep doing this. The only thing I'm going to change it for, and Steven knows this, if they're a European based person, I'll be like, Steven, I got one at like 1 o'clock or something like that. But as long as I can find a way to keep doing it, we're good. This past one, I think it was the biggest one we had. We probably had 450 people. And I was like,
bro.
I know. So we had 4 guests. One of them, and if you know me, you know how much I appreciate this one guest we had. So there were 4. One of them was Moonshine Canines.
Moonshine Canines.
Yep. And the crazy part about them is they're building an Irish whiskey. If anybody knows anything about me, I love my Irish whiskey, aka Jameson. So I was all for for that one. So
real quick, I want to jump in because I was talking about this we were having dinner with some friends a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about, we're all like, well out of college, but we're talking about like the one drink that if you saw it in front of you right now, there's no way any amount of money could get you to drink that again because of what it did to you in college. And Jameson was One of the two that I said. The other one,
Really?
I don't know how many people know what this is, but Blue Wave. Blue Wave was like a Vlad, which is like a Vlad is, it came in one of those plastic handles, like the plastic ones. So that's when you know it's bad. So
No.
Jameson, I cannot even look at it. That and a Jägermeister too. So
Really?
JMO, man, no chance. Like I
Mine,
could,
I would.
if you put a shot of Jameson in me, I would, right in front of me. There's no chance. No
What?
way. No way.
And you know what's crazy? You know who got me on the Jameson wave?
Who?
Tiana did. Like we
Ah,
went to like, I
yeah.
was like, yo, what is
Yeah.
this?
Shout out
I was
to
outside of college and I ended up having that for the first time. But
No
yeah,
chance, bro.
randomly, it was like me, Tiana, and our friend Leo from S Sports International. We all went
Yeah.
somewhere and I had a shot of it. I was like, you know what? And then we were like, we just getting shots tonight.
Nope.
And then it just went downhill from there.
Nope.
But the one I couldn't have is Whipped Pinnacle.
Ooh,
And
yeah. Yeah.
some shit, like bad memories. Like freshman year, we used to have one of our friends go to the store, get it for us. He was like, yo, you gonna have a good day tonight? We didn't have a good day. We stayed in the whole time. So
Never do.
so that's
Yeah.
what we had drinking wise. So shout out to them. We also had Skater Gators for the Skater Gators. Yep, Skater Gators. So they're a D-Rug project. They were on the show as well. We had two other guests. I apologize for the ones that I'm forgetting their names. I'll try to end up looking up quickly because I don't like to end up making others feel bad for that one. But we did have those two. Oh, we had Ape 16Z. They're kind of an aggregator that's working to focus on giving money to certain projects. So that's another one we did have on the show. And we had a fourth one. When I remember, I'll end up letting everyone know out there. It'll be like out the random. But I also wanted to end up bringing up Twitter. So if anyone has been looking at the news the past 2-3 days, this is when you know you have money because Twitter is now going to be purchased again by the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Elon Musk. So Elon's supposedly buying Twitter again. I don't know how he can end up just saying, you know what, just kidding, I'm going to end up buying Twitter again, but that's what ended up happening.
You got that bread, bro.
Yeah, he got that bread. Also, the one I was forgetting was Mystopian. So Mystopian's Ape 16Z, Skater Gators, and Moonshine Canines.
Bro,
so
that sounds like a football play.
It
if you say that fast enough and you say on one, it sounds like a football play.
I know. So Twitter was the other one I wanted to bring up. I want to go through a lot of the NFT stuff quickly because I want to get into the sports stuff. But ones I want everyone to pay attention to are Liberty Squares. So currently they're sitting at 21 Solana floor price. If you want to figure out where you can end up looking up these different NFTs that are supposedly going up or you believe have a good enough investment in it, go to Hello Moon. I like to use hellomoon.io and I also like to use hyperspace.xyz. Those are two major ones. I'm about to get out of my position in Blocksmith. So what I did with a couple of the people that are investors, we got into Blocksmith. We got in when it was at 68 SOL, and currently right now it's at 111 SOL. So that's a good profit. We'll end up turning on that one. And then I'll end up keeping it in stables and then look for other ones to get into. Another one that I've been paying close attention to, and I'm waiting for this Blocksmith one to sell, is Photo Finish Live. It'll also be in the newsletter for everyone out there that's listening to this, that gets the newsletter. I talk about Photo Finish Live. They are the digital horse racing company that I mentioned probably a handful of times. They have venture-backed companies such as like Coinbase Ventures and Big Brain Holdings and some others that are out there if you just check their list. But I like what they're doing, and it's a way for people that have ever wanted to get into like the equestrian jockey business and own their get in there. You can end up doing it this way at a much lower cost. You can end up having your own stable, and then you can have different horses and race them and put bets on it, all digital and stuff. So if anyone has that out there or thought about that, look into it. I have also invested into D Stables, which is the stable that's owned by D guys who have their horses in it. So I will be doing this two different ways. I'll have my own stable that I'm going to start working on once the game does come out, and I'll slowly start to end up getting them. And then I'll also be a part of D Stables. I'm trying to end up hopefully helping them with managing different horses. Last thing I want to bring up is Utes. Utes is still not out, so we're waiting for the Utes to end up manifesting. Currently, we still have tubes. I still am holding mine. I do have a trust pass as well, so probably going to sell that one because I don't see the investment, the ROI within it. But those are the ones I wanted to end up bringing up. Going into sports, because Steven said that it was cold, and I was looking at Twitter, and Devontae Smith said, y'all don't realize how cold it was in Philly for that game.
Bro,
And
it was frigid.
And the other thing is, so I told this to Steven, and then I was also going to end up bringing one of my other friends to the Ravens-Bills games. I ended up selling the tickets, and then I was texting one of my friends. He was coming back from Philly, like, yo, Chris, it was definitely not that bad outside. Like, we could end up going to the game. Then he got closer. He was like, oh, hell no, I'm glad we didn't go to that game. And then he got home, and he was like, yo, we probably could have gone. Then we're watching the game at a restaurant down the street, and he was like, yo, it's pouring there. And like, that's not a game you want to go to. Hell no. And what I always tell people is I like that I sell them in advance. So I don't need to worry about the weather. I don't need to worry about nothing. Look, whoever got the tickets, y'all got to go to the game.
See,
and I can just chill.
The thing is, like, I knew that it was going to rain when, like, before I went up to State College. I knew it was going to rain. But like, when you think like it's going to rain for a game, for whatever reason, like 99% of the time, what is wrong with my hat? I can't, like, this thing's all so, like, is that better? Jesus.
You need the Brimmeister. There's this dude that put a can on the brim and just like bent it, and it was like the perfect.
Some OG shit.
Some of it.
Take my creatine.
I know.
Whenever I feel like in my head, whenever I think if it's gonna rain at a game, I think it's gonna like drizzle.
Nope.
And not be like, but like 99% of the time, it's always like a downpour. So when we got there, but shout out to Jay Hill, because we got into the Letterman Lounge, and we got to watch the first 3 quarters in the inside. So we weren't outside at all for the game itself until it stopped raining a little bit in the 4th quarter. So I went outside to my buddy's seats and sat there for most of the 4th until we left. But yeah, bro, it was clear until like 1:30, and then we got to Scott's RV, and it just poured. Just opened up, and it just nonstop, and it was just like sheets of rain too, like hurricane type sheets of rain, and it would stop for like 5 minutes and then pick up again. It would stop for 5-10 minutes and pick up again. And I'm telling you, man, like you just like, you think you can prepare and like bring a poncho or bring the right shoes or bring like whatever. No, like you can prepare for snow in the cold, because like it'll get like, the snow is obviously gonna get you wet, but like not that bad. The rain is just different, especially when it's like,
you can't do anything about it.
When it's like windy and it's just like sheets of rain just coming at you. You can't do shit. Can't do shit.
Nope. I remember one time, what game did I go to? So it was like a Commanders game back in the day. My dad and I ended up going because he used to always want to take me to them. So we would go, I think it was the Commanders and Giants on Thanksgiving. And my dad took a picture of me. My mom's like, Chris, you weren't smiling at. Absolutely, I was not, because it was cold. It was wet, and I was not enjoying.
And that November rain is freezing.
Yes, it is.
Frigid.
You can't do nothing about it.
Nope.
So that's one thing. The other thing I wanted to bring up just really quick. What are your thoughts on VM? So for everyone out there that doesn't know, you can end up looking up his long ass last name. We're just going to call him VM so we don't mess up anything. Yeah. But what are your thoughts on VM and also Mr. Henderson, who they were talking about? Because some people probably don't even know who the heck that is.
Is it Scoot
Henderson?
Scoot Henderson. Yep. So he looked pretty smooth.
Scoot Henderson,
right? I thought it was Scoot, whatever. VM, man, it was different. It's kind of like watching dude. It's kind of like watching KD, but like bigger, and like he's got a good skill set too. Like he brought the ball up. It was just like a bigger KD and better on defense, and his arm is like 15 feet long. Like the tanking is going to be serious this year.
They were saying that they were like brutal, like going to tank, like
brutally tanking. We might see some like all-time bad records this year.
And there's 3 teams that got the picks to do it too.
Yeah, but it's also like he's so big. It's like it's like Chet Holmgren. Like you don't know how long that type of body is going to last. It's like with Scoot, he's like 6'2", 6'3", and like bulky and like, like a normal sized dude. for the league. But like VW is 7'4", and he's probably like what, like 240, 250, just because he's so damn big. And like, you don't know how long that type of body is going to last. I mean, Chet Holmgren was like 7'3", but he's like 100 pounds. So like, no shit, he had like a serious ankle injury. He's out for the season. But like, with that type of frame, it was crazy to watch, because he was like, he had handles. He can get to the cup. He could shoot the three. He had 7 threes. He had 5 blocks, 37 points. Like, he was kind of doing everything. So there's going to be some tanking going on, but he's like, you just don't know how long that type of body is gonna last against like legitimate competition in the NBA, like legit centers. Now, there's no like big time like David Robinsons, Tim Duncans, Shaqs, Garnett's. There's none of those dudes, like those really big physical dudes. So he's going up against a lot of guys that are going to be bigger, but they're like more perimeter based defenders. So not a lot of guys that he has to go inside with, which is fine, for that injury reason. But if he gets in one of those situations, or he gets one of those injuries, you hope he doesn't, because he's like a generational type of player. We'll hold on to that one for a while, but like, you got to just hope that someone like that doesn't get hurt. Because speaking of injuries, though, not to turn the page, but bro, did you see Zion's first step last night?
No.
When he went baseline?
No.
I don't know who was guarding him, but he had no chance. He took like, he did one of those things where he catches it and then like, swings it low, and then he was like, the baskets in front of him, and he kept trying to go, like, he caught it, swung it down low, and was going to go left, but took that first step right and from baseline, and the defender just like backed up a little bit because he thought he was going left. Zion went right, and he yammed it. It was quick, and it was, and the announcers were just like, whoa, like, okay, boy's back. And if he's healthy, that's like, that's another, not generational player, but like, a player that when he's healthy, much like a guy like Saquon Barkley in the NFL, it just makes everything in that league better when a guy like Zion is healthy.
So what's crazy is, I'm glad you brought up Saquon, because I wanted to segue into I just saw it. Yeah, they were playing the Bulls. Yeah, I just saw that, like,
baseline real quick.
Baseline real quick.
Yeah.
But I wanted to segue into the NFL and then dive deeper into that. Tua. One, before we talk about Tua itself, who do you place a lot of the blame on? Because clearly they fired that neurologist that was the non-biased one, not with the team. But what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on, in terms of kids, since you have kids? Explain the whole thing.
So also, as someone who's had a ton of concussions, and concussions they weren't a big deal when we were in high school. Like, you would just be like, all right, how many fingers am I holding up?
That's 4. What they would do. That's what they would do.
Close enough. You're good. Go in the game. And you'd have to if it was practice, you'd have to run a lap. If you could run a lap without dying, you were good. If you could do like 3 up downs without dying, you were good. Again, how many fingers am I holding up? 4, close enough. Go in the game. Then you're fine. So as someone who had multiple concussions and still like feels the effects of them today, who to blame? Man, that is tough, because you can blame a lot of people. You can blame everybody in his circle. You can blame family. You can blame friends. You can blame teammates. You can blame his neighbor, Frank. You can blame the team doctors. You can blame coaches. You can blame anybody you want. You can blame Tua. Like, I know it's football, and it's like, you got to go play no matter what. And I think also another thing is, like, the game was on Thursday. If they played on Sunday and that happened, I honestly don't think that the conversation would be as drastic.
No, they'd find,
because players play on a weak concussion all the time. But because it was Thursday, and also I don't think if he just like fell and just like got hit, or just like took a normal fall, or he got slammed and his head bounced. Like, that was pretty scary. And it was like, instantly he had the concussion because of his hands did. Like, that's an instant signal that he's done. Also, and I've said this, I tweeted out before, he should never play football again.
No,
ever.
He's already
messed up. Like he's already going to
Yeah.
probably have CTE. He's had 2 concussions in 4 days.
Oh,
4 days,
they
bro.
say that's not good at all.
And you put that bro on a plane. Elevation
That's even
changes,
worse.
pressure changes, bro. Who
Well, so
allows
here's the
this
thing?
shit?
My speculation and theory is I don't think he really got on a plane. Unless they have pictures of him getting on the plane, I think they're trying to make this situation look as good as possible, but they're sliding it.
Bro, they're like, you can't, like, that is the worst thing. Pressure changes for that. Pressure, like
the
getting
same day.
Bro, my head hurts getting on a plane without a concussion.
I know.
And like so your ears popping, everything, ears popping on a plane with a concussion. I can only imagine how bad that hurt. I can only imagine how much of another concussion he probably got because of that. Mm-hmm. So I mean, he should never play again, let alone this season. Like, wait, just put him on the bench, put him on IR for the rest of the season. He's gonna play this season.
Mm-hmm. Like that's what sucks.
We all know. We all know he is, but like if you're one of his boys or if you're his family, you got to be like, yo, you need to, like, you're done. Like
he can get a lot of money too.
At least,
so he needs to not.
Yeah, at least be done for the season. Like at least be done for the season. Take the rest of the season off. Like, I mean, it's definitely not worth it. I mean, he's so young too. He's not even 25 yet. I don't think, right?
Hell no,
can't be. So you got to just chill. And like, there's so many people to blame in this situation. Like the team, like the doctors. Yeah, you can obviously blame 24. them. But like 24, bro. And he was a top 10 pick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's already got money. He's got endorsements. He's fine. Like he's set. So like if I'm his family, if I'm anybody in his circle, I'm telling him like, look, bro, I know you want to play. I know, you got a good team around you, whatever. Like, but no, it's not worth like eventually probably killing yourself in 20 years.
I know.
That's the thing. Cause he's already got CTE. There's no question about it. So, I mean, it really sucks. Cause like, I feel like he's such a likable guy, even if people were clowning him in the off season, but like he's such a likable guy. He had a great, awesome college career at Alabama. He finally was like in a good situation with a good coach and good team around him and all that. So it just sucks that it happened to someone like that so early in his career, and like everybody saw it.
Yeah,
that's the thing. If it was like a random, 1 o'clock game, they're playing like the Jets, and it wasn't like on a national, primetime game or whatever. It was national TV. Tens of millions of people saw it. Yes. And it's a very shitty situation all around.
Yeah. So I'll make this quick so that we can get into everything else that we have. The first thing is I blame everyone this offseason. One that was saying like, what happened? Like, is Tua's arm going to be able to throw it to Tyreek Hill and everyone? I blame that. I blame the expectations put on the Miami Dolphins because they had Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill because they were like, oh, they're going to be like championship bound. I blame the doctors. And we knew this shit was going to happen. As soon as they got Hill and Waddle, they're going to slide all this shit to the side because like, no, we got to win a championship. This is the perfect year. I blame the situation on how they handled Brian Flores on it because that raised more expectations. Blame every single doctor there is known to man that was in the organization. You blame the owner. You have to put some blame on the head coach. Everyone saw the first one. And Steven, you and I said it. That shit was not a back injury,
bro.
It was a concussion.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing all this up because I'm not going to name him because some people in those organizations might know him. But a cousin of mine played for Lafayette and Texas A&M. He was like damn near 6'6", 6'7", 300 pounds. So a lineman. And we were talking about concussions last week. And he was like, even in college, they'll do this. He said one time he was on the verge of having a concussion. Like he went to go take a shower. The coach, not going to say what school he was at. The coach was like, you play for the school, like get back out there. And that's the expectations that they will put on you. They will end up pushing you back out there to end up going to play. And that's what sucks because it's one of those mindsets of you work for them and they put the pressure on, then they blackmail you. They do all this to you. And they don't want everyone to know that information. They're going to try and clean this up as much as possible. What I was telling somebody else is that was funny. If you watched before the concussion, you watched after the concussion, and the next day, Amazon and the NFL played so many goddamn, last year was a great year in terms of concussions, like the helmets that we used and everything. We had the lowest amount of concussions. First off, one concussion is too many. So for you to say the lowest, it doesn't mean anything. Like that's a lot. that happened. So those are my honest thoughts on Tua shouldn't play again this year. They've had people from the movie The Concussion saying he should not play again. Any more hits, you almost have to put like the red jersey on him if he's going to go back out this year. He can't play,
bro. The only way you're not going to have concussions in football is, you just don't have football.
Yeah, that's really it.
That's it.
Even flag football, you'll have some sort of injuries too. So it's just the nature of the game. The other thing I wanted to bring up is we are 4 weeks through the season. What are your thoughts on how this season's gone so far? Did you have any expectations? Give us one or two surprises before we hit the picks.
Surprises. I think the Eagles are a surprise. I mean, 4-0. 4-0 is nothing to scoff at. I mean, opponents haven't been great, but the Jags are better than expected. The Giants are. I don't know how good they are. It's weird. I mean, having Saquon Barkley and leading the league in rushing and all that kind of good stuff, is beneficial. Steelers, I think this was expected that Kenny Pickett was going to get in. I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was expected this early. The Rams don't look great.
No,
their offensive line looks dog shit. Yeah, I mean, there's, I feel like we don't usually take it's like college football. I mean, there's a lot of teams who are 4-5-0, but like you've played nobody. So I don't usually put a lot of stock into college football until like mid-October. So you've played a couple conference games. NFL is kind of the same way. I know that's, every team is, there's not a whole lot of like bad teams because anyone can beat anybody in the NFL. But I usually don't put a lot of stock into it until like weeks 6, 7, 8, maybe. Till you played a handful of games, maybe gone through some injuries, all that kind of good stuff. So that I don't think the Ravens are going to be as good as people think. I know Lamar Jackson's balling out, but that defense is terrible. The Bills, I mean, I kept seeing the conversation about Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen, and I would take Josh Allen over Lamar Jackson in a heartbeat. I think Lamar proved why, and what I said last or 2 weeks ago, why I'm not paying him. Like, because he makes those mistakes.
Yeah,
like those mistakes. That's not.
He was open.
Like that's not a John Harbaugh mistake. Like he could have. Sure, the mistake is maybe going for it instead of going for the points on that goal line play. But like Lamar Jackson's he's got to make that play. If you're the league MVP, if you're the guy that that people look at as one of the best players in the league, best quarterbacks in the league, you got to make that play. And you that's just no. And Josh Allen drove his team down there and did what he had to do. He did what Lamar Jackson couldn't do. He got away from Oweh. He made the throws that he needed to, got his team in position for the field goal. Boom, game over. So I like the Bills. The Chiefs are balling too. Mahomes does some crazy shit that is just weird. Whoa, hey, doggy. Mahomes does some weird shit. The Bucks need to get something going. Tom Brady's life is falling apart.
It is.
Yeah, there's just, I mean, it's 4 games in, and there's just so much going on right now. So I like the Bills, like the Chiefs. Eagles look good. There's some bad teams, but I think biggest surprise I would say is how good the Eagles look when people weren't maybe expecting them to look that good. So shout out to Jalen Hurts though.
So that's
also shout out to Eagles fans. Finally, a fan base got this right and welcome back their coach with open arms, because we've seen it. We've seen coaches do absolutely no wrong for teams and they get booed when they come back. Like Russell Wilson getting booed in Seattle was also like completely uncalled for. Like people, like, you can say what you want about Russell Wilson being corny, but like he got that team to like Super Bowls and like won them a Super Bowl. I know the defense was elite, but like you had to have the good quarterback play to do so. So shout out to the Eagles fan base for welcoming back Doug Peterson with open arms, and the players all embracing him and all that kind of good stuff. So that was good to see.
Yeah. So my quick takes are, one, with the Eagles, the next 2 weeks before the bye are going to be really important. I personally believe they're going to lose one of those two. They're probably going to win the game after the bye week because the Eagles always do well kind of after the bye week. Going forward, if they can skate past these two, the Cardinals and the Cowboys, pay attention for when they play the Colts, the Packers, and the Titans. It starts to get cold during those games, and them running backs don't get easier to tackle.
And then you ain't going to see Devontae Smith the rest of the season.
Hell no. This man,
my man's like, hey,
not.
Why don't you trade me for this? Trade me for the second half of the season, and I'll come back around.
I know. The other thing is the running backs. These running backs are getting injured between Williams, Swift, Cordell Patterson. They're getting injured, and these injuries are for a minute. I know we've been seeing that. Then, of course, you had these secret retirements too, like Blake Bortles, although he was kind of on his way out. Cole Beasley came back and said, "You know what? I'm gone again." So Cole Beasley,
no one wants to deal with his bullshit.
No. So that was the other big thing. And then I think just how bad some of these teams are, like the Broncos and the Raiders. I expected more from them.
Bad.
And they were saying that was going to be some elite division, and it's not that way at all.
Nope.
But going into the picks, since I kicked it off with that, we could start with the AFC West team. Colts, Broncos. Who you got?
Colts don't have Jonathan Taylor, so I'm going to go with the Broncos.
So
it's in Denver too.
Yeah. So I saw that one. Broncos should be able to get that. Giants, Packers. This is not as easy as people think.
I'll go with I'm gonna go with the Giants. That's a 9:30 game over in London, which, by the way, I enjoy that. Don't ever say that again. I actually enjoy that, like the 9:30 kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was actually a fan of that. But I'm gonna go with the G-men.
Okay, I got the Packers in that one. I think Romeo Doubs is somebody a lot of people should look out for, because they're starting to see like comparisons to what they used to do with Devontae Adams sometimes and him. I don't think he's Devontae Adams, and I hate people have been saying, "Oh, it looks like Devontae Adams." First off, you can't replace a talent like that.
Bro, tickets are going for $550 for that game.
I know, because then people overseas got money,
got that bread,
and it's one of the few games. Steelers, Bills. We probably both feel the same way. Okay. So Chargers, Browns. Chargers, Browns.
Chargers.
So I got the Chargers.
For people who are listening and not watching in the silence, I'm not picking the Steelers the rest of the season. So I'm going with the Bills.
So I got the Chargers. I had the Bills in that one, of course. Texans, Jags.
Jags.
That's an ugly division too.
It is, yeah.
But I have the Jags as well in that one. Texans are just floating. Something else before we keep going. These quarterbacks, there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be in the market for those rookie quarterbacks, because some of these teams are just, in Steven's words, poop. Going to the next game, Vikings, Bears.
The Bears suck. I'm going with the Vikings. Their pass game is not good. I'm going with the Vikings.
Do you think it's Justin Fields or the coach?
I think it's their offensive line sucks. They don't have like a lot of good talent around him, which makes me happy because he went to Ohio State. So that's kind of good to see. Yeah, it's just a bad situation there.
Lions,
feel bad for him now.
I do too.
I really want to pick the Lions, dude.
Mac Jones is out.
I really want to pick the Lions. I'm gonna pick the Lions. I think they finally. I mean, they have a win. I think they're 1-3 on the year.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah, they won a game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Lions. Let's go.
So I got the Lions too. Seahawks, Saints.
Wow. I don't know. This could be. I mean, the Seahawks defense is trash.
It is.
They gave up 40-something points at the Lions. I'm gonna go with the Saints.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So I had the Seahawks in that one because of how many points they put up last week. Gino's just gonna be Gino, and I don't really trust Jameis or Andy Dalton. Dolphins.
Oh, actually, no. I'm changing my pick to Seattle.
Okay.
Because I did watch that Vikings Saints game in London on Sunday, and the Saints secondary is not that good.
No, it's not.
So
Dolphins, Jets.
I'm going with the Jets. Jets. Damn it. I picked the Broncos, and I didn't say Bronco Nation. Let's ride. I'm so disappointed in myself. Shit.
I got the Dolphins, Falcons, and against the divorceless team.
I'm going with the Falcons.
Okay.
I think the Bucks are going to have a little bit of a slide, and people are going to start questioning them, and they're going to go on like a finish the season like 7-1 type of shit. So I'm going with the Falcons.
So I got the Bucks. I think Tom Brady's going to do some crazy stuff. Titans against the Commanders.
Titans. They're getting on a roll. I think Derrick Henry's going to have 200 yards against the
They're
Commanders.
finally figuring him out again to go back to that. I don't know why they chilled off of that, but Titans, 49ers, Panthers.
Niners, man, their defense is legit.
Mm-hmm.
And the Panthers suck.
Yeah, they do. They're going to get a new quarterback too.
Yeah.
Eagles,
too.
Cardinals. Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Eagles. That's out there. You never know what's going to happen out in Glendale, but I'm going with the Eagles.
I got the Eagles as well. Pay attention 2 more weeks before Nook comes back. That's when it becomes big time again. Cowboys and the Rams.
I'm going to go Cowboys. If I think Micah Parsons could have 4 sacks against them because their offensive line look bad.
Yeah. I got the other Cooper, and I'm going with Cooper Rush, Cowboys. Bengals, Ravens.
I'm going the Bengals. I think one of the last times the Bengals played them, Joe Burrow had 525 yards against the Ravens secondary, and their secondary is worse this time than it was the last time they played. So I'm going with the Bengals. So
I got the Ravens in this one.
Oh, shut up.
Lamar's going to go for over 80 rushing yards, 200 passing yards, and Mark Andrews is going to get a touchdown. Raiders, Chiefs.
Chiefs by 100.
Yes.
not even to worry about it.
All right. So what you got for the people?
Shout out to my cousin Taylor. She had a baby on Monday. Yeah, so that's cool. And then my brother-in-law, my Brooks brother had a baby 2 weeks ago. So lots of babies right now. But yeah, big shout out to my cousin. It's dope. Now she's the other one who has a kid in the family. So that's good to see. Everyone's happy, healthy, back home now. So that's dope. I'll make this quick. Her husband, he's a teacher. Guess how many days he gets off?
4.
3.
Damn.
He gets
I know
3 days off.
Get a lot of days
3 days off, not weeks. 3 days. So he's already back basically. But what you got?
Damn. So what I got is I went to the casino last week with my cousin. I ended up winning $150, which sounds cool. But then I ended up doing some NFT raffles and I lost $150. So I got a net zero. But the cool part about that is we spent like $94 at this restaurant and I made $150 at the casino. So I broke even and I got a free meal that day. So that's that. Yeah. After that, I'm thinking about like in a couple of weeks, I'm going to start doing a Chris Collinsworth roll in for us.
Yeah, please. Finally.
But other than that, we out.
Peace.